Says something, does it not? That the executives wish to have everyone else physically beneath them.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome. Good on you. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened. It's not often, but yes. And I'm not the only board member that initially voted against moving forward with the research. Completely. I understand the success it can bring for the corporation, but my only concern here is security. It's not that the board majority fails to see the dangers. It's that they believe we can overcome them. That hubris could easily bring this corporation down one day. I only hope it won't be on my watch. You read my mind. Let's just hope Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause. Well, the timing could be better, but I don't feel strongly one way or another about the acquisition. We've gone through our fair share in the past, and this one would be no different. If Masako wishes to bring Infinity into the fold, I will not stand against it. I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd. is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
I have something I need to discuss with you.
If only there were more hours in the day. If you need something, make it quick. I'd like to make sure my arguments are solid before this meeting. Choose your words carefully. If you expect me to respond to threats, you're sadly mistaken. Now, I can only assume you're referring to Infinity Ltd., and there's only one right decision regarding that corporation. Complete dissolution. I can guarantee that Infinity Ltd. was up to more than just the current charges. The process of finding and following up on all those threads won't be easy. I refuse to be blindsided by another corporation's past, so this is going to take a lot of time and patience. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. All right. Yes, there are numerous benefits. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom. Unfortunately, half my department's been poring over documentation, while the other half is writing up what legal guidance they can. Nice to know someone is. Everyone's too busy praising its completion to think about the dangers it could represent. First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, That tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage. Because the external neuroamps are built to help the user on a personal level. They aid in reason, communication, confidence, all things that can make the difference in a person's self-image. And yes, they can be abused, but that's why there are laws regarding improper usage. Tech like this only has good applications when you have complete control over who uses it. Once that tech hits a market, open or private, that control is gone. And not only that, the tech is out there to be advanced or modified by anyone who might get their hands on it. In an ideal situation, yes. And I suppose creating that ideal situation is within my power. Now you've made it sound like a proper challenge that I can't help but accept. Masako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to my notes.
There's something I need to talk to you about.
I would like a chance to talk to you, if you are able.
Hey there. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope. What? No, of course not. They're purely theoretical. Reminds me of my undergrad days. I mean, I assume you're joking, right? I'll have to get that documented and we'll definitely want to run a few tests if not. So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp. I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work. Of course I do. But there are amazing things Dominion can be used for, too. Humanity has always created dangers, and we've always policed them as well. The internal neuroamp will be no different. It just needs to find its place. Fine, fine. Make your case. Oh, there is adequate data to back what you're saying. More than adequate. Well, this conversation's made me feel like a proper monster. But you're right. In a perfect world, tech like this is used for good. But this world is far from perfect. It is a pretty cutthroat industry, isn't it? I still can't get over the idea of those failed human trials at the clinic. Or worse, if I had just been a fledgling scientist working at that station on Carinae 3A. One minute I'm working with a newly discovered element, and the next, dead. Without so much as a warning. I guess it'll be up to a vote either way. It's not on the meeting agenda, so I assume you'll bring it up yourself? We just have to hope the others will see reason. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be? I'd like to acquire them, although it won't break my heart if we don't. Faye may have stepped over a line in her attempt to replicate my work, but she's a brilliant engineer. I'm very curious to see what else she may have been working on and dig into her research. That's what I'm hoping for. They may be the underdog, but that doesn't mean they don't have a brilliant mind or two. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
You operatives really will wear anything.
Discuss.
Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available. I doubt that. But moving on. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity LTD throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why? You can tell a lot by just looking at a workspace or simply observing a person in their business environment. Perhaps I mistakenly assumed that as an operative here, observation was a talent of yours. Oh, I didn't mean in regards to Drexler's actions. More in the sense of should a superior company like Ryujin make room for so many potentially lackluster employees? Perhaps I wanted to see if I could be convinced otherwise. It's easy to say, it's the right thing to do for someone in your position. But for me, Infinity LTD is a huge financial unknown. It's high risk versus mediocre reward. That is a plea more well spent on Genevieve or Alexis. I prefer to focus on the numbers and leave emotions out of my decision-making. This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match our salary offers. Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation? Expand on that, if you can. An excellent point. Why react and repair when you can prevent a situation altogether? I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been. It's the next big step for Ryujin Industries. Financially, it'll keep us secure for years to come. There's no doubt it's our future. It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one. Hence the added motivation that will bolster sales. The guarantee depends on if we're willing to make the financial commitment to outfitting each employee with at least a shielding component. A cost that's not lost on me as CFO. It's possible. But with Alexis and Genevieve driving the restrictions and presentation of such a product, it's also highly unlikely. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
Is Misako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side? Because that's what I do. You want something in this business? You don't pull any punches. The only real question is just how persuasive she asked you to be. In this business, there's always a side. And right now, I'm backing Misako. We just need to grab Infinity Ltd. while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light. The only downsides are the unknowns. Lyndon and Alexis are gonna have a lot on their hands. Not that I'm getting off easy. Whatever they find, if it hits the public, that's gonna fall on my shoulders too. Infinity is that sad company in distress with thousands of employees terrified of their futures right now. We are the warm embrace of security coming to rescue them. I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year. The consumer is our lifeblood, so capturing their wants and desires, of course it's all I care about. I'm sure I wouldn't be in this position today if it wasn't. Sounds like you've got a bit of your own agenda going on. Well, let's hear it. Of course, which is why I know it requires some very delicate handling. But unlike Alexis, I believe we can get the proper restrictions and regulations in place to have a marketable product. We do it every day with weapons we arm ourselves and our ships with. Don't I know it? I think Alexis and I are truly going to have our work cut out for one another. We'll discuss security ramifications with Dalton, and I'm sure there are alterations, safety nets, if you will, that we'll need from Vina. It's sure to be quite the undertaking. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors. Thanks for the extra insight.
I would like a chance to talk to you, if you are able.
Did Misako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? I think we both know that's not going to work. You can make light of the situation, but my stance won't change. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished. Oh? Your response tells me Misako must have given you similar advice. It'd be unlike her to not fully exploit an advantage, especially when she believes acquiring Infinity is the right thing to do. The corporate world will hear SSNN's story and believe Ryujin exposed Infinity because they stole from us. It sends a strong message. But acquiring Infinity could be interpreted as a safety net. Infinity tried to screw us over, yet they still survived. We need to be sending a much stronger message. If you mess with Ryujin, we'll shut you down. Period. Ryujin Industries isn't a corporation built on heart. I think you know that. The benefits may exist, but the message will be stronger. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting. You and me both. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
I don't do idle chit-chat.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
This acquisition is sure to have its financial pitfalls, but as a wise person pointed out, it would have major payoffs in the future. Plus, with their current situation, Infinity Ltd will be more affordable than ever.
Arguments?
We should be crushing our competition, not rescuing them from their own flaws. This is a weak decision, Masako, and you know it. In fact, I move that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but she's right. Regardless of the pros, the cons are too morally and ethically irresponsible to move forward with.
Agreed. Not to mention the security risks.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
We'll start up discussions on how to handle Project Dominion in the future. In the meantime, at least the only person to have one is our own operative. Internal neuroamp research will continue. The dangers have been noted. And don't worry, I'm certain between Alexis and Genevieve, any legal or moral issues will be taken care of by the time it goes to market. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
So much work to do.
So, Infinity LTD learned a lesson the hard way, and we exposed the traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. It's well earned and deserved. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
Yes, I'm proud of you as well. Ularu needed to be brought down. If you wouldn't have stopped her, who knows what she would have done next.
Not often, and certainly not to this degree. We have the occasional employee consider selling information, but thanks to our security and operations teams, we always catch them before any damage can be done. This was the first time anyone from either department was involved. My thought exactly. Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you. I don't believe we have anything to discuss at the moment.
There's something I need to talk to you about.
Got my eye on. I'm Genevieve Connahan's next appointment.
Need something? I'm literally dying to know what you know. Okay, not literally, but you know what I mean. What am I talking about? Yuko may or may not have mentioned that your boss hasn't shown her face in a while. That, and she was last sighted at Frankie's, which we all know spells out syndicate drama. Look, I'm practically in on every secret that's passed through this department. I'm telling you, my lips are sealed.
Can't blame her for doing her job, Lane.
Yuko, out of nowhere. Don't scare me like that. I thought you were April.
Lucky for you, April's off harassing my techs again. As for this little conversation, I hate to say it, but the op is right. You're better off in the dark. For now.
Fine. I know when I'm beat. Keep your secrets. But you owe me lunch. Something you need? Do you even listen to SSNN? That news about Drexler is so damning. The man condoned murder for hire and illegal human trials. Like he wanted to compete with Ve Victis for crimes against humanity. The settled systems isn't going to forget that anytime soon. I heard we lost one of our key informants. Ularu's pretty livid about it, and has the techs digging into who's responsible. Rumor is, he had a really pissed off ex that finally got her revenge. What's not news today? Imogene exonerated, Ularu off the board for trying to set up both Imogene and Masako. Last mistake she'll ever make. Masako will make sure of that. They let Camden go today. Good at his job, always reliable but high maintenance, Camden. Yuko's holding out on me, but I bet you anything it was related to Bayu. Only that some drama went down during the security update. You know, the one where they kicked us all out of the building for a free day. Security's keeping... I'm betting they found some dirt on some... I heard congrats are in order for you getting that deal pushed through. Masako's been after a partnership with Quantum for some time now. So you can be sure you're on a short... They let Camden go. Yuko's holding...
They better get someone to fill in for Camden's. Oh, I can't imagine being forced to spend my days doing menial work in an office like this, instead of exploring the stars.
Don't cause any trouble.
You've certainly shaken things up around here. I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part. But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day. Of course, if you think anyone here believes in downtime, forget it. And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions? Nothing you aren't already familiar with. You experienced the majority of what we do here during your training, if you recall. Uploading a few files, manipulating a narrative or two, obtaining schematics, it's just more of the same. No, but try to see that as an improvement, since I certainly do. The mission board is more efficient for both of us. I wish. Assignment approval isn't exactly riveting work. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside. And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. Oh, and congratulations, of course. No, only within the tower. The security risk would be far too much to allow access to that data in a public space. At this point, I wouldn't doubt it. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up an open door policy. Just for you. Taking a break? It's a relief. I'll take my desk job over being on the run any day. I was lucky enough to have plenty of connections and favors to abuse in my situation. We'll see how many of those favors come back to haunt me later. The mission board is where you receive your assignments. Well, with the if you don't want to earn credits, that's up to you. But I can understand how lackluster they may seem after what you've pulled off.